As a story for the jury, the case that prosecutors are making against Donald Trump is alternatively salacious and mundane, engrossing testimony interspersed with humdrum details like the banking documents we were seeing today. But all of that, again, to advance the story. As an op-ed in the New York Times puts it, it is not unusual for lawyers to give narrative arcs to their legal theories, reasons to care about the evidence, and animating thoughts that may make jurors more inclined to convict or acquit. The key is to offer one that is both captivating and closely tied to the facts, so that when the jurors put the pieces of evidence together, it is a story they believe. So, where are we in the story prosecutors want to tell? Where are they going? And which witnesses to come will help them fill in the blanks? Criminal defense attorney and MSNBC legal analyst Annie Savalas joins me now. So people clearly and understandably think that the flashiest witnesses might be Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, even Michael Cohen. But are they the most important people necessarily to this narrative?
Sometimes the most important witness can be the most boring witness. And especially in a white-collar type case like this, you look at a character like Gary Farrow. He's not one of the big names in the case. And even some of the testimony got a little dense, but he's critical to establishing one of the transactions. You could almost say that after Gary Farrow's testimony, that the transaction involving Michael Cohen and Davidson, the transfer, the setup of the account, the funding, all of that, you could almost argue that the people have already met their burden already with Gary Farrow. Now, one of the things the defense pointed out is Gary Farrow didn't know much about Donald Trump. That's fine. The people will address that on their own. But here's another example of a witness whose name you may have heard of, but she may not be on the stand that long. Still very important is a Hope Hicks, right? So Hope Hicks, she was involved. She was at some of these meetings, both in 2015, 2018. David Pecker talked about that. Now, we also don't know what exactly she'll testify to, but we know she met with the grand jury, and we know the people may call her. And if the people call her, she's got something that's really interesting and relevant to the case.
We also know that he trusts her implicitly, and so he would not have edited himself in any way, presumably, in conversations with her.
Maybe, maybe not, but